Good morning. Morning. Welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Rochester, a church of open minds and loving hearts since 1866, celebrating many sources of wisdom and many spiritual paths. Your faith, your doubts, your questions, your identity, they are welcome here. Join us after service for refreshments down in the commons or bring refreshments outdoors to the courtyard. Children are welcome in the sanctuary, yet there is a preschool playroom open for young ones and activities for children following the time for all ages. Find upcoming events in your order of service, including architect meetings throughout the summer as we continue our process for a new church home. Today, after the service, join the Building Our Future team from 11 to noon for a time to chat in the hearth room, open discussions and questions about the process so far. Thank you to the Building Our Future team and all of the many opportunities that you've given us this summer to share our voices and opinions. Wednesday evenings this summer, join with others for a casual picnic supper at 5:30 at 3 Links Park near Silver Lake Pool and the playground. All are welcome. Most Sundays, our entire offering collection goes out the doors of our church to support work for a more just and loving world with a monthly justice partner. But a few times throughout the year, the collection stays in-house to support the mission and programs of our own church. Today is such a time. You can give online or as the plates pass. Thank you for your generosity. And now I'll pass it over to Kim Harris for a moment to share an announcement about Isaiah.
Good morning. For those, just in case you don't know, Isaiah, Minnesota is a statewide coalition of faith communities working towards social and economic justice. I was invited to Isaiah shortly after I joined First UU and have been working with them ever since. You may have heard we had a historic legislative session this year, and most of the Isaiah agenda was passed, and it was amazing. So, yes. So what that means now is that across Minnesota, Isaiah leaders have started a season of listening, and the First UU members have started a listening team here. We hope to have conversations with people here at First UU about your hopes, your families, your values, your struggles. We also want to learn about your experiences with and interests in social justice. Selfishly, I want to learn about you because I'm new here. We joined during the pandemic. I know some faces, but there are a lot that I don't know. So what we're hoping is that when you're approached by one of our listening team members to invite you to conversation, that you'll join us for half an hour, to chat with us so that we can get to know you better. We'll be at coffee hour if you would like to meet with us then, and we can schedule a time. I hope you'll agree to meet with us so that we can get to know you and your families better. Thanks.
Thank you, Kim. Okay, now I know there's some visitors out here, but maybe most of you have noticed that we are without an ordained minister this morning. There are no clergy stoles up here today, but don't panic. We have trained for this, and you are in good hands because the service today is led by a very delightful bunch of worship associates on the worship committee. And we hope you find joy and connection with the music, the words, and perspectives shared this morning as we travel further along our summer's theme, A Path of Delight. So take a breath. And let us enter this time of worship with these words from our minister in the 1870s, Reverend Eliza Tupper Wilkes. May our faith in humanity and our message of hope and good cheer light our way. In a moment, we will sing our opening hymn, number 1024, When the Spirit Says Do, found in the Teal hymnal. But for now, I invite you to rise as you are able in body or spirit to welcome and greet those around you, give a wave to those online. The music will call us back.
Lord, you got to do when the Spirit says do. It says do, Spirit 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 says do. I'm gonna sing. You gotta sing when the Spirit says sing. You gotta sing when the Spirit says sing. When the Spirit says sing, you gotta sing. Oh Lord, you gotta sing when the Spirit says sing. 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 Dance. You gotta dance when the Spirit says dance. You gotta dance when the Spirit says dance. When the Spirit says dance, you gotta dance. Oh Lord, you gotta dance when the Spirit says dance. It says dance, Spirit 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 says dance. Laugh. You got to laugh when the Spirit says laugh. You got to laugh when the Spirit says laugh. When the Spirit says laugh, you got to laugh. Oh Lord, you got to laugh when the Spirit says laugh. 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 Shout. You gotta shout when the Spirit says shout. You got to shout when the Spirit says shout. When the Spirit says shout, you got to shout. Oh Lord, you gotta shout when the Spirit says shout. 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 Do one more time. You gotta do when the Spirit says do. You gotta do when the Spirit says do. When the Spirit says do, you got to do. Oh Lord, you gotta do when the Spirit says do. 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 Spirit says do.
Our chalice lighting words are from Reverend Gordon McKeeman, a former member of this congregation. The chalice words are entitled, Ministry is All That We Do Together. Ministry is that quality of being in community that affirms human dignity, beckons forth hidden possibility, invites us into deeper, more constant, reverent relationship, and carries forward our heritage of hope and liberation. Ministry is what we do together as we celebrate the triumphs of our human spirit, miracles of birth and life, wonders of devotion and sacrifice. Ministry is what we do together with one another in terror and torment, in grief, in misery and pain, enabling us in the presence of death to say yes to life. We who minister speak and live the best we know with the full knowledge that it is never quite enough. And yet we are reassured by lostness found, fragments reunited, wounds healed, and joy shared. Ministry is what we all do together.
I would like to invite all the children who would like to participate to come up here and talk. And I've got some, and I have a lot of questions, and I'm hoping you can answer them for me. And I have a little helper here who's going to help me. So you're welcome to come up. There seems to be a lot of you this morning. So I'm so glad you're here this morning because I have a lot of questions and I'm hoping that maybe you can help me answer them, all right? Are you ready for the first question? Ready? Have you ever seen a rainbow? Who's seen a rainbow? Have you seen a rainbow? All right, great. Yes. Have you seen a double rainbow? I've seen a double rainbow. How about hummingbirds? Have you ever seen a hummingbird? Have you seen a hummingbird just darting in and out of the flowers and then just hovering in the air for a little short time and just darting right off? It's amazing, isn't it? You've seen it? Yeah, that's probably she probably has good flowers. Oh, thank you. Have you ever seen fireflies? Anybody seen fireflies? Don't you just like going out on a warm summer evening and watching them while they're... You've seen those? flashing on and off. It's amazing. I've seen them over a still pond at night in the woods where they were flashing on and off, and it looked like stars reflected in the water. I could sit there and watch that for a long time. In the morning time, wow. So here's one more question. Have you ever had someone show up unexpectedly, like your mother or father came home early from work, or you had a friend or relative, and it was so nice to see them? Someone you love shows up and comes around. Well, when these things happen to us, they're called moments of delight. And that's a very special time. Delight brings us a touch of magic to our lives. And it's, I don't know about you, but it makes me feel very good inside. Yeah, only dogs? And then what happened? You were. I'll bet you were delighted. Yeah. Well, I can think of one other ways in which I've had delight in my life. Has anybody been around a small baby? Have you been around small babies, like 3 months old, where they begin to smile just a little? That to me is a delight. But as a matter of fact, I think children are a delight. Did you have something you want to tell me? No, you're okay. So I think children are a delight. And I'm delighted to share this moment with all of you. As a matter of fact, I have my granddaughter here, Freya, who is also a delight in my life. And I'm hoping that you all have someone in your life that brings you delight. And I hope that you bring delight to someone else's life. Oh, that's your cat. I'll bet he does. You sound like you're a very delightful girl. All right. So, anyway, at this point, Chantel will lead the children out, or they can stay for the further service. Thank you all for coming.
I invite you to settle in here as we create a place of communal caring and connection. It's our time to pause amidst the busyness of our lives, to slow down enough to consider the beauty that is here all around us, and to open a space for listening and love. Here we honor all who support us in this caring, loving, and all-inclusive ministry. We send gratitude to our care coordinators. The members of our caring committee are wonderful examples of our compassionate community, holding us up as we go through challenging and happy times. Because life can be challenging. We could all use some extra support sometimes, and if you are experiencing challenges in your life, we encourage you to reach out for support and help. If you need additional care or personal pastoral care, please reach out to Reverend Luke or Melissa with those requests. As we settle into this shared space today, I ask you now to breathe deep the breath of life. Feel below you the earth and its ancient turning, and above you the sky and the stars shining with ancient light, holding you in this space, yourself made of earth and stars. I invite you to check in with any tension you may be holding in your body, your shoulders or neck, your jaw, your hands, your belly, or perhaps the space between your brow. As you are able, breathe deeply and release so that you may sit deeply here in this community of love and justice, hope and grace. Know that here you are named and you are known as beloved, as divine. I invite you into this time of meditation, this time of prayer, first by sharing silence together. Spirit of life, source of love, God of many names and beyond all naming, we hold in our hearts those who suffer in mind, body, or spirit. I invite you to bring the names you are holding in your heart this day in joy or sorrow, celebration or concern, and silently or aloud now in this time to speak their names. For all those names, spoken and unspoken, may we be held in love and grace. These words of meditation are by Kurt Vonnegut from an excerpt of his book, A Man Without a Country. But I had a good uncle, my late Uncle Alex. He was well-read and wise, and his principal complaint about other human beings was that they so seldom noticed it when they were happy. So when we were drinking lemonade under an apple tree in the summer and talking lazily about this and that, almost buzzing like honeybees, Uncle Alex would suddenly interrupt the agreeable blather to exclaim, "If this isn't nice, I don't know what is." So I do the same now, and so do my kids and grandkids, and I urge you to please notice when you are happy and exclaim or murmur or think at some point, "If this isn't nice, I don't know what is." May the faith in the Spirit of life, love for the community of earth, and love for the light in each other be ours now and in all the days to come. May it be so, and amen. The hymn is number 1002, Comfort Me, found in your teal hymnal. You may remain seated.
Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Sing with me, sing with me, sing with me, oh my soul. Sing with me, sing with me, sing with me, oh my soul. Speak for me, speak for me, speak for me, speak for me, oh my soul. Speak for me, speak for me, for me, oh my soul. Dance with me. Dance with me. Dance with me. Dance with me, oh my soul. Dance with me. Dance with me. Dance with me, oh my soul. Comfort me. Comfort me. Comfort me. Comfort me, oh my soul. Comfort me. Comfort me. Comfort me, oh my soul.
Morning. When our son Daniel was 3 or 4 years old, Karen's family met up in Hawaii for a family vacation, and we got the opportunity to go on a snorkeling cruise. Daniel was just learning to swim, so we got him all rigged out in a set of water wings and a set of Ninja Turtle flippers with a matching Ninja Turtle mask and snorkel. And then we got him in the water with a swim noodle underneath him, and off we went. His first snorkeling experience. Problem was, he wouldn't put his head underwater. He was kicking his legs around with his head, but his head was up and out. We kept telling him, put your head in, put your head in. It's going to be awesome. And this went on for about 10 or 15 minutes or so, but then, I think, a wave came up and hit him in the face. Well, from then on in, you couldn't get his head out of the water. He saw everything. Sea turtles, rays, Nemo fish, Dory fish, all swimming around in this new world of crystal clear, warm seawater. I don't know what his soul was telling him, though, in those moments, but I like to think he was in awe of what he was experiencing. He was taking in a brand new world, and it was blowing his mind. Moments like the one my son had above are what we call Wonderstruck moments. Those times that come upon you out of the blue and take your breath away. They restore your soul. They build you up. We need these moments to lift us up because life can be difficult. And we need those experiences sometimes to help us remember that life, on balance, is a good thing. I remember once I was on a backpacking trip somewhere in Colorado. We were hiking along this ridge, and I looked out and saw out over the massive valley to this ridgeline on the other side. Pine trees and aspen trees filled the mountainside, going down the slope to the valley and then up to the other side of the ridge. The expanse I was witnessing was massive. And in that moment, I realized just how small and insignificant I really was. The thing is, even though I felt like I was the size of a bug, I was filled with this amazing sense of joy and peace. In that moment, the world made sense. Everything aligned. That memory comes back to me from time to time, particularly when I am struggling with those things that seem out of alignment. The things that cause me great anxiety, the suffering of those I love, the injustice against marginalized populations, and, because I'm a nurse, the brokenness of our healthcare system. In those moments of anger and frustration, the memory of me on that ridgeline sometimes comes back to me and allows me the opportunity to reset, to refocus, to change my thinking so I can continue to do the work I'm being asked to do. Wonderstruck moments like these are the big moments, the ahas. And while wonderful, I don't have too many of them. I certainly don't have enough to sustain me over the long haul. I find I need to go looking for the small delights, the daily experiences of joy and awe. When I think about those, I realize they're available to me pretty much whenever I want them. All I have to do is change my focus. Wendell Berry writes about these experiences in his book, The Hidden Wound. I'm paraphrasing, but he says that life is full of work, pain, and weariness, and at the end of it, a person must endure much to simply survive. Yet, if we are attuned to the joys possible in the daily life, we can experience moments of wonder and delight all the time. The simple joy of taking a drink of cold water after mowing the lawn in the middle of a hot day. The warmth of bringing yourself next to a hot fire after shoveling your driveway in negative 30 degrees. The feeling of satisfaction you have when you go to bed at the end of the day, exhausted, physically and mentally sore, but also with the knowledge that you did good work today. You got something at least mildly important accomplished. In her poem, Mindful, Mary Oliver recognizes the opportunities for simple delight occur daily as long as you're ready for them. She writes, "Every day I see or hear something that more or less kills me with delight, that leaves me like a needle in the haystack of light. It was what I was born for, to look, to listen, to lose myself inside this soft world, to instruct myself over and over in joy and acclamation." I'm not talking about the exceptional, the fearful, the dreadful, the very extravagant, but of the ordinary, the common, the very drab, the daily presentations. I say to myself, how can you help but grow wise with such teachings as these? The untrimmable light, the world, the ocean's shine, the prayers that are made out of grass. So what are those daily things that kill you with delight? The things that keep you going? At some point today, I invite you to think about them and figure out how you may make yourself more present to them when you need it.
Thank you, Joe and Rose. Something short to consider. Sometimes the delight is in the surprise, in being caught utterly off guard. And almost always, there's a sense of being privy to a secret experience, not necessarily in an exclusive way, but in a grateful way. I get to be here to see this, to make this unexpected connection, to be, well, wonderstruck. And now we have an opportunity to see the delight in giving. May the ushers receive the offering.
Thank you to them. It was a perfect Minnesota summer day, 80 degrees with no humidity, a light breeze, not a cloud in the sky, kind of like today, actually. We were out in our front yard while 3-year-old Jasper was contentedly enjoying the kiddie pool. After a bit, a thought popped into my head. What if we turned our little tyke slide into a water slide? So we set it all up. We brought the slide out of the house. We got the hose out. We were spraying water on the slide so it was super slippery and Jasper could fly down it. And he loved it. It was perfect. Then, in one of my Parent of the Year moments, I thought, what if I threw buckets of water at Jasper as he went down the slide for a truly immersive water slide experience? And at first, Jasper looked at me like, how could you do that to me, Mom? But after the second time, he laughed and giggled and screamed, and it was the funnest thing he had done all summer. So Derek and I continued to throw water at him while he went down the slide for at least an hour more. He was having so much fun, and we were laughing at all of his joyful reactions. And isn't this the definition of Wonderstruck, like Paul mentioned? That sudden feeling of awe and delight and wonder. I love these experiences, joyful moments that just sneak up on us that we take advantage of. A few summers ago, some friends and I were kayaking on Lake Superior. Halfway through the excursion, the tour guide had us take a break and shared that the location we were stopped at was the location to cliff jump into Lake Superior. Now, my first thought was fun, and then all the anxieties crept in. Who jumps off a perfectly good cliff into a deep, cold lake? Not to mention that I am very much scared of heights and deep water, so it didn't really seem like the best combination. But then I thought, when else am I going to be in this spot on this day with these people? I had to do it. So I talked myself into it with friends urging me along. There were a few false starts where I kind of went forward, then went back, and went forward and went back. And then for some reason, my body just went to the edge and jumped off. It wasn't pretty. I had to plug my nose with both hands so I didn't drown, but it felt absolutely amazing. It isn't as great as that story is. It really isn't always that easy for me to give in to these unexpected moments, and I'm sure that many of you can relate. There's always something else that has to be done. A house to care for, kids to care for, pets to feed, work to do, grocery shopping, gutters to clean. It goes on and on and on in our lives. And sometimes fear is holding us back, whether it's the actual fear of the experience or a fear of how we'll be perceived. We may feel silly letting loose and going down a water slide at a pool, especially when everyone else in line is 30 years or more younger than us, or spontaneously jumping into the snow on a walk and making a snow angel. But what if we revel in these delights? One of my favorite quotes comes from Mary Oliver's poem, The Summer Day, where she writes, "Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?" So today I challenge you all, and really myself, to think about how you will honor the wild and precious life that you're given. How will you invite delight into your days? For one, I can't wait to hear about the adventures that this may lead to. And who knows, maybe you'll have a renewed love for water slides. Please rise for our next hymn, Wake Now My Senses.
And hear the earth call, feel the deep power of being in all. Hear the web of creation your vow, giving, receiving, as love shows us.
I invite you, as you are comfortable, to turn your palms toward the sky or place a hand on your heart. As we close this time together, may you enter this new week with curiosity and wonder, stumbling upon, creating, or merely recognizing moments that you are struck with delight. Maybe it's experiencing smallness amongst the trees for a reset, the surprise of a hummingbird, or spending time with a loved one. Or maybe it's pouring a bucket of water on that loved one's head as they laughed on. And perhaps, just maybe, you may catch yourself thinking, if this isn't nice, I don't know what is. May it be so. Amen.